First flown in June of 1942, the Grumman F6F Hellcat was a staple of the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps' air arm during World War II. Designed as a replacement for the F4F Wildcat, the Hellcat proved itself to be a rugged and formidable fighter aircraft, even giving the legendary Japanese Zero a run for its money. By war's end, the Hellcat will rack up over 5,000 aerial victories, more than any other Allied aircraft during the war. While not as well known as other fighter aircraft of the era, the Hellcat has still found its niche within the model aviation community. Several model aircraft manufacturers have modeled the Hellcat in various scales, but very solemnly will the Hellcat be modeled in micro size. Flite Test rendition of the Hellcat seeks to change that. With a wingspan of just 30 inches, this Hellcat can fit easily into almost any flying space while also providing the user with an economical alternative to a larger scale model. Using the proven Master Series method of construction, this gives the builder the opportunity to build a realistic looking model without an excessively long build period.
As a first-timer to the Master Series line of aircraft, I was pleasantly surprised how easy the model went together. The build video was very easy to follow, and the simple mapping symbols made the build process all the more smoother. One thing I admired about this new style of build video is that they allow for updates to be made to the model to improve build quality. This came in handy when I was trying to install the battery tray in the nose of the aircraft. Alongside these features, I enjoyed how centralized the electronics are. Gone are the days of swapping out power pods from model to model. The centralized electronics allow for a quick, turnkey solution for those looking for a flight test plane to throw in the back of the car and not worry about fussing around with reversing servos or subtrims. Aside from these features, I was also impressed with how intricately the parts fitted with each other. The seamless transitions between various parts made the model seem all the more finished, even down to the tiny cowl flaps, which in my opinion really make the model. My final praise for the model's construction has to be the decals. They are vibrant in color and appearance and really add to the model's physique. They are also of good quality and stick very well to even painted foam board. However, this model is not without its quirks. While some defects can be forgivable, such as the absurd amount of glue used to cover the bottom of the barbecue skewer under the pail, others are not so fortunate. For instance, the build video instructs you to glue former F4A onto former F4B. However, the formers listed in my kit were numbered F3A and F3B. This could be a post-updated kit, but this was not addressed in the build video update. To add to this conundrum, the holes on the X-mount for the motor did not line up with the firewall. After several methods of mounting it, I ended up making a whole new X-mount as a result. Alongside these issues, I also found it tricky to mount the windshield to the cockpit enclosure. I ended up using painter's tape to secure the windshield to the rest of the cockpit and added a liberal amount of glue on the inside of the seams to secure it in place. One final gripe I have with this model was that the wing was a little tricky to install in the airframe. This is due to the ailerons not being locked down at this point in the build. I'd recommend putting painter's tape over the ailerons to secure it in place before installing it in the fuselage.
But how does it fly? Well, for one thing, it does not lack for power. So this is equipped with a Flite Test F power pack, which gives it ample amount of power. With an 853 cell, it just goes vertical, no problem. So I have mine set up with 70% dual rates and 30% expo for low rates, and that is plenty for this model. On top of that, it has really good rudder authority, but don't be fooled, it really doesn't need it because it's just so stable in the air. And that's mainly due to the undercamber wingtips. On top of that, it has a really good glide slope. I remember one time while flying this, I was on approach and I cut power and actually overshot and I had to go around. It just glides forever. So it is just a really stable, good flying model. However, this is not to say that this model is without faults. One of the issues I had with it was that it has a tendency to overheat. Even though this is a faster model, I was kind of uncomfortable with how hot the ESC and the motor were after each flight. One other gripe with this model I have though is that because it's kind of a faster model, the orientation on this plane is just almost non-existent. Even with the unpainted under camber tips I have on it, it is very hard to see, especially in the air. You almost need to have FPV on it when you fly it, so be aware of that if you ever build one.
Despite all these setbacks, Flite Test Hellcat is still a phenomenal model. It offers amazing performance characteristics and stunning scale detail for a foam board model while still being offered at a reasonable price.
It's extremely easy to build for someone with even an intermediate level of building foam board aircraft and an even easier model to fly.
If you're looking for an amazing flying model to add to your fleet, or you're looking to get into Master Series aircraft, I'd highly recommend the Flite Test F6F Hellcat. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to pick up a Hellcat for yourself, I'll leave a link for it in the description below. Also, special thanks to Stephen Thomas and Jason Bennett for helping me get some footage of the Hellcat. It turned out great and they really helped out a ton. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I had a ton of fun making it and I might try this out on model trains in the future. Anyways, thanks again guys and have a good one.
Oh gosh! And we're done for today.